Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some explosive new developments from the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Reports have emerged that Russian soldiers are now utilizing Chinese technology against Ukrainian forces in a move that has significant implications not only for the course of the war, but for global geopolitics as well. In an era of technological advancement and military collaboration, this latest shift is raising concerns about the growing ties between Russia and China and the potential for the balance of power in the region to change dramatically. While the world watches as this war unfolds, the use of Chinese tech by Russian soldiers is something that could change the dynamics in ways that were previously unimaginable. This new development is catching the attention of military experts, strategists, and global leaders alike, as it reveals a deepening alliance between two major global powers and what it could mean for the future of warfare. Over the past few months, there have been reports circulating that Russia has increasingly turned to China for advanced military technology to bolster its forces in Ukraine. Chinese drones and other high-tech devices are being used to monitor Ukrainian positions and strike with pinpoint accuracy. While Russia has long relied on its own military capabilities, the partnership with China is giving them access to cutting-edge technology that they had previously been unable to secure due to sanctions imposed by the West. As the war in Ukraine continues to intensify, the use of Chinese technology could provide Russia with the tools it needs to gain a significant advantage on the battlefield, and that could shift the balance of power in the conflict in ways that we've never seen before. Chinese drones are reportedly playing a key role in Russia's strategy, with the unmanned aerial vehicles being used to conduct surveillance, gather intelligence, and deliver targeted strikes against Ukrainian positions. These drones offer a level of precision and efficiency that traditional Russian military equipment simply can't match. In some cases, the drones are being used in tandem with Russian artillery and rocket systems to deliver highly accurate strikes against Ukrainian infrastructure, military assets, and even civilian targets. By using drones to conduct surveillance, Russian forces can pinpoint enemy locations with incredible accuracy, making it easier to plan attacks and deploy forces in the most effective way possible. This type of technology is a game changer in modern warfare, and it's clear that China's expertise in drone technology is giving Russia a major leg up in the conflict. Alongside the drones, Russia has also reportedly started using other Chinese-made tech, such as surveillance equipment and advanced communication systems that allow their forces to operate with a greater degree of coordination and effectiveness on the battlefield. These systems enable Russian soldiers to communicate securely and share real-time intelligence, which is a huge advantage in a fast-moving conflict where split-second decisions can mean the difference between life and death. By utilizing Chinese technology, Russia is able to streamline its operations and make its forces more agile and responsive to the rapidly changing conditions on the ground. For Ukraine, this presents a new and unexpected challenge, one that they were not prepared for, as they now face an adversary equipped with some of the most advanced technology available in modern warfare. The implications of Russia using Chinese tech against Ukraine extend far beyond the battlefield and into the realm of geopolitics. As this partnership continues to evolve, it's clear that both Russia and China are growing closer strategically and militarily, and this alliance has the potential to reshape the global order. China has long been a supporter of Russia in international forums and has provided crucial diplomatic backing during the sanctions that have been imposed by the West following Russia's actions in Ukraine. But this new military cooperation takes their relationship to a whole new level. By providing Russia with access to cutting-edge technology, China is not only supporting Russia's war effort, but is also cementing its role as a global power with influence over the future of warfare and military strategy. This deepening collaboration between Russia and China has the potential to create a new axis of power in the world, one that could challenge the traditional dominance of the United States and its allies in the West. If Russia is able to leverage Chinese technology effectively in its military campaigns, the implications for global security could be enormous. The West has already been on high alert regarding China's growing military capabilities, and the fact that Russia is now benefiting from that technological edge adds a new layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. As China and Russia continue to strengthen their ties, it's likely that we will see even more developments in this area in the months and years ahead. The growing use of Chinese technology by Russian forces raises several important questions about the future of warfare and the role that technology will play in conflicts around the world. As the lines between traditional military power and technological capabilities continue to blur, we are entering an era where wars will be fought not only with soldiers on the ground, but with advanced tech that can strike from a distance and provide real-time intelligence to commanders thousands of miles away. Drones and surveillance systems are just the beginning of what is possible. As artificial intelligence and cyber capabilities continue to evolve, the future of warfare will be shaped by the countries that have access to the most advanced technologies and those that are able to integrate them effectively into their military strategies. For Ukraine, this new challenge is one that they were not prepared for, but it's also one that they will have to adapt to if they want to stand a chance in this increasingly high-tech conflict. While Ukraine has received significant military aid from the West, including advanced weaponry and training, they now face an adversary with a technological edge that they didn't anticipate. The question now is how Ukraine will respond to this new threat and whether they can find ways to counter the Chinese tech that Russia is using against them. One thing is clear: the use of Chinese technology by Russian forces in Ukraine is a game changer, and it's likely to have a lasting impact on the way wars are fought in the future. As both countries continue to innovate and develop new technologies, the battlefields of tomorrow will look very different from what we've seen in the past. Drones, artificial intelligence, cyber warfare, and other advanced technologies will become increasingly central to military strategy, and the countries that are able to harness these tools most effectively will have a significant advantage in future conflicts. The world is watching closely as this new chapter in the Russia-Ukraine conflict unfolds, and as China's role in this war continues to grow, it's important to remember that the consequences of this technological collaboration are not just confined to Ukraine or even to Russia and China. The broader implications for global security and the future of warfare cannot be overstated. If this trend continues, it could signal a shift in global power dynamics with China and Russia at the center of a new axis that challenges the established order and reshapes the future of warfare for generations to come. As we continue to monitor this situation, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments and the impact that Chinese technology is having on the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. This is a story that is still unfolding, and it's one that will have far-reaching consequences for the world at large. Stay tuned to the channel for more updates, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay informed as we continue to cover this and other breaking news stories from around the globe. Thank you for watching. Analysts are now calling this the most advanced case of dual-use technology crossing into active warfare since the start of the 21st century. The lines between military and civilian supply chains have blurred to the point where enforcement becomes a guessing game. Every drone motor, camera, and battery pack can be traced to multiple countries before ending up on the battlefield, making accountability nearly impossible. Governments are scrambling to develop new systems for monitoring technology flow, but the speed of innovation keeps outpacing regulation. As soon as one loophole closes, another opens. This cycle is feeding a quiet arms race built on commercial electronics rather than missiles or tanks. In recent weeks, several Ukrainian officers have reported encountering new models of quadcopters equipped with advanced stabilizers and encrypted communication links. Many of these parts match designs produced by leading Chinese drone manufacturers, but without official serial numbers. It suggests that they may have been modified or custom-built for use in war zones. This type of adaptation shows how flexible the global tech market has become, allowing combatants to assemble powerful devices from open-source blueprints and parts ordered online. The battlefield has become a marketplace of ideas where innovation travels faster than diplomacy. Experts warn that this trend could redefine international security doctrines. Traditional arms treaties were designed for bullets and bombs, not circuit boards and algorithms. A single software update can now change the outcome of a battle faster than any tank offensive. Some analysts compare this moment to the dawn of cyber warfare, when nations first realized that invisible code could do the damage of visible firepower. The presence of Chinese components in Russian operations has awakened that same realization. Once again, technological dependence can quickly turn into strategic vulnerability. In Beijing, government spokespeople continue to deny any deliberate involvement, insisting that China promotes peace and opposes escalation. Yet the growing evidence from multiple intelligence sources contradicts that narrative. While there may be no direct shipment of weapons, there is a steady river of hardware and data flowing through private channels from Chinese factories to Russian warehouses. This flow is often disguised under civilian categories, such as industrial machinery, agriculture, or construction equipment, but field investigators have documented how these same systems are repurposed for reconnaissance and target acquisition. The larger concern for Western powers is not only who is supplying what, but how this exchange signals a deeper geopolitical realignment. The silent partnership between Moscow and Beijing is evolving beyond trade into strategic cooperation built on shared technological ecosystems. Both nations are developing alternative platforms for communication, finance, and logistics that bypass Western oversight. The use of Chinese technology on the Ukrainian front is a symptom of that larger shift, a sign that global power is decentralizing into new alliances shaped by data and innovation rather than ideology. Military engineers observing the conflict describe the current situation as a hybrid war fought in two layers. The first is the visible layer of troops, tanks, and artillery. The second is an invisible network of satellites, sensors, and software feeding real-time information to commanders. The success of either side now depends on who can collect, process, and act on data the fastest. In that race, Chinese technology has become an unacknowledged ally for Russian forces, providing tools that improve visibility, accuracy, and communication speed. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry has started investing heavily in counter-drone systems designed to detect and neutralize these devices before they can relay information. Many of these countermeasures use radio frequency jammers and electromagnetic pulses, but results have been mixed. The problem is that every time Ukrainian engineers develop a new defense mechanism, the opposing side upgrades its drones with fresh software or alternative frequencies. It is a game of constant adaptation that drains resources and tests patience. The presence of Chinese-made components only makes it harder to predict what kind of systems will appear next. Across Europe, policymakers are reacting with growing frustration. They argue that as long as commercial supply chains remain global and unregulated, these kinds of technological leaks will continue. The European Commission has already begun drafting proposals to introduce stricter export verification procedures for electronics that could have military applications. This includes advanced chips, sensors, and communication modules that until now have been freely traded under consumer technology categories. Industry groups warn that such measures could slow innovation and raise costs, but the pressure to act is mounting. In Washington, intelligence officials are urging closer coordination among allies to track technology transfers. They are mapping the flow of parts from factories in Asia to distributors in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, where they eventually enter Russia under false documentation. These findings have sparked discussions about creating a global database to monitor dual-use components and prevent them from reaching conflict zones. However, even with such initiatives, enforcement remains difficult because many of the products are legally purchased before being modified for war. The situation also highlights a deeper philosophical question about responsibility in the digital age. When a device can serve both to create and to destroy, who bears the moral weight of its use? The engineer who designed it, The company that sold it? The government that allowed it to cross borders? These are questions that the modern world has not yet answered. Technology is neutral by design, but its impact depends entirely on the hands that control it, and those hands are now spread across multiple nations, industries, and ideologies. Inside Russia, military analysts are openly discussing the effectiveness of the new Chinese tools. They credit them for improving coordination during complex maneuvers and reducing losses from Ukrainian counterstrikes. Some reports suggest that Russian officers have received special training on how to integrate civilian drones into tactical planning, effectively turning inexpensive gadgets into lethal assets. The success of these adaptations has inspired copycat programs in other regions where low-cost technology is being studied for its potential in asymmetric warfare. Meanwhile, Ukrainian civilians caught in the crossfire are witnessing firsthand how this technological transformation affects their lives. Drones hover over cities, capturing footage that once required satellites and expensive aircraft. The same technology that helps deliver food and medicine in peaceful regions is now guiding artillery in wartime. The contrast is haunting, and it underscores the moral complexity of living in a hyper-connected world where every tool can be a weapon depending on intent. Economists warn that as this dynamic continues, the global technology market could fracture into competing blocks, one dominated by Western manufacturers and another by Asian suppliers aligned with China and Russia. Such a split could reshape everything from pricing to innovation cycles, leading to a future where technology becomes not just a product but a political statement. Owning a particular brand of device could signify allegiance or opposition in the new Cold War of data. As the war grinds on, evidence continues to emerge that Russia is experimenting with integrating artificial intelligence into its Chinese-supplied systems. Analysts believe that AI-assisted targeting and predictive modeling are being tested to improve artillery precision using imagery gathered from drones. This would mark a significant evolution in battlefield automation, bringing the conflict closer to what strategists call algorithmic warfare, where human decision-making is increasingly supported or replaced by machine learning. International organizations are now debating how to respond. Some suggest the creation of a technological equivalent of the Geneva Conventions, establishing boundaries for AI use and data-driven targeting in warfare. Others argue that such agreements would be impossible to enforce, given the decentralized nature of technology and the lack of transparency among private developers. Regardless, the conversation has begun, and it is reshaping how humanity thinks about responsibility in innovation. The consequences of this technological entanglement extend far beyond Ukraine. It has exposed the fragility of global systems that depend on trust and interconnection. It has shown how a single microchip can travel across half the world and change the fate of a nation. It has revealed that neutrality in technology is a myth when information moves faster than politics. The world is learning that every invention carries unintended consequences, and every breakthrough comes with shadows. For now, the skies over Ukraine remain filled with machines built in one country, piloted in another, and watched by millions around the world. The future of this conflict may not be decided by armies alone, but by the engineers who design the next generation of tools and the policymakers who struggle to regulate them. The war has become a mirror reflecting humanity's greatest achievements and its deepest contradictions. Until there is transparency and accountability, the cycle will continue. Technology designed to connect the world is being used to divide it, and every day that balance tilts a little further. History may remember this as the moment when innovation outpaced ethics, when the tools meant to advance civilization became instruments of power and survival. The global community now stands at a crossroads between cooperation and competition, between progress and control. And so the story continues as nations argue, factories produce, and soldiers adapt. The quiet hum of drones over battlefields is the sound of a new era, one written not in treaties or speeches, but in circuits and code. The truth is that this conflict is not only about territory or politics, it is about the very nature of technology itself and who ultimately commands its power. Thank you for watching. For more updates, subscribe to our channel, like and share this video.